I'm sure he didn't think I was going to ask him a question.
I really appreciate you responding. So your law, SB 277, on July 1st just went into effect that mandates vaccines for all children, taking away their right to an education for those families that have a different philosophy on vaccinating their kids, whether spreading it out or not vaccinating at all. Given that, I would assume that this law, that the reason you got behind it was because of the theory of herd immunity, that we needed herd immunity in order to protect our society from diseases like measles. And the unvaccinated population in California of children is really 3%, but most of the adults in this room have not been revaccinated lately. We know that vaccines wear off. So really, the greater problem is vaccinating adults, that we are now...
2 minutes, so what's the question?
My question is, the pharmaceutical industry is writing laws to make mandatory vaccines for adults. Would you support a law mandating vaccines for all adults in California to stop the risk of measles?
I don't think that's necessary. I will say, so let me talk about this vaccine issue for a second. First of all, we've got the slide about ending polio. My father had polio as a kid, and for me, people in his generation just can't believe that we've opened the door to the entry of all these dangerous communicable diseases back in our society. And it's part of why I was involved in this effort to try to tighten up the rules related to vaccines. Now, I understand there's a lot of, there are some folks in our community, and some of you are here today, who are deeply skeptical of vaccines. I did have the opportunity to watch your film. Mr. Bigtree made a film named Vax. And what was interesting about it for me was that it ultimately was not an anti-vaccine film, from my perspective. What you were really focused on was your sense of increased risk associated with the MMR, particularly when it's given at a certain age to kids. And what I don't seem to understand is why it is that if people want to separate out measles, mumps, and rubella vaccines, why they can't do that. Right now, it doesn't appear that that's widely available on the market. And I guess
it's not available at all. If you would support a bill to break up the MMR, that would be very
I mean, that to me seemed to be the obvious solution to the challenge raised by your film. Yeah.
But even though the greater body of people that are unvaccinated in this country are adults, you don't think it's necessary to vaccinate them?
I don't think we're at a stage where that would be necessary, but obviously we're going to have to see where medical trends go. But that seems to be unnecessary to me. Yeah, last question.
First, I wanted to compliment you